Talks of a government shutdown.
But they really do have such a huge impact on our local economy.
And how it could affect local parks in South Florida. Caplin News is live from our DC bureau. A panel hosted by FIU.
Collaboration is key.
That talks about the effects of the Middle East on Latin America. And a discussion with the world champion.
Very gratifying to be able to interact with a coach on this level.
More on his experience with students at FIU. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Brenda Miranda.
And I'm Dylan Pazay, and today is Friday, September 19th, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Questions are raising about what a full federal shutdown could mean for park visitors nationwide. A possible federal government shutdown looms in the distance, which could affect our national parks.
Our DC Bureau reporter Jose Carlos Rodriguez is live outside the Capitol with all the details.
Good morning, Brenda and Dylan. With 10 days before the September deadline, conversations are still ongoing here in Washington, D.C., and the impact could be felt there in South Florida.
The Everglades, Dry Tortugas, and Biscayne are some of the parks that could be affected.
National parks and these incredible places that we enjoy are not thought about. They're not top of mind, right, in terms of essential government services, but they really do have such a huge impact on our local economy in South Florida and also just on our health and well-being as human beings.
This has happened before. In 2013, national parks across the country closed completely in another government shutdown. The National Park Service estimated losing almost 8 million visits and $414 million in spending by visitors. In 2018 and 2019, during another government shutdown, many parks stayed open, but with limited staff. It could be worse this time around because the Park Service has already been through budget and staff cuts.
Again, without knowing exactly what a government shutdown could look like if we get there in the next couple of weeks here, depending on what happens in Congress. If we do get there, though, I think we can anticipate that the effects will be more severe because they will amplify the serious cuts that we have already seen at Everglades National Park and other national parks in the region.
Those cuts included rangers, rescuers, and scientists who track the Everglades restoration projects. And while parks look well maintained today, a shutdown could quickly disrupt that activity.
If an agreement to avoid shutdown doesn't happen, visitors of all national parks, including those in South Florida, will have to plan for closed gates, reduced staff, and limited services. Reporting live in Washington, D.C., I'm Jose Carlos Rodriguez, Caplin News.
A discussion on global security between two unlikely regions took place in our nation's capital. DC Bureau reporter Duvasana Bisundio has the story.
I'm here at FIU in DC, where they just finished their panel with the Atlantic Council on the implications of Middle Eastern security trends on Latin America and the Caribbean.
What we have seen is that there are three areas in which they have engaged, such as illicit finance, political and economic influence, and acts of terrorism.
Students and professors from FIU and other universities filled the crowd for a discussion about a region close to Miami's heart, Latin America and the Caribbean. The panel looked at the effects of renewed instability in the Middle East on Latin America, saying the relationship between the two regions is developing through propaganda, illicit finances through smuggling and money laundering, and symbolic diplomacy, with Iran and proxy groups exploiting vulnerabilities in weak governance zones such as Venezuela. Through the discussion, they cited recent policy briefs by the Atlantic Council and past terrorist attacks in Latin America and the Caribbean. Part of the talk also looked at possible solutions such as strengthening regional intelligence and cross-border cooperation and pushing Latin America and the Caribbean to acknowledge and combat the expansion of terrorist organizations in the region through stronger and stricter financing laws.
Our main takeaway is actually collaboration is key. When other Latin American countries collaborate with each other or with the world, we could seek out proactive solutions to issues.
Eric Loeb is a professor in FIU's Department of Politics and International Relations who praised the university's first panel with the Atlantic Council and says FIU was best suited to discuss this topic.
We have experts who focus obviously on Latin America, but also the Middle East. It's an issue that's gaining increasing importance from a geostrategic standpoint or geopolitical standpoint.
The next panel for FIU in DC will be October 7th on how communicators shape the narrative here in DC. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Duvasna Basindial.
A roller coaster attraction in Central Florida will stay closed this morning as an investigation for a rider's death continues. Orange County Sheriff's Office says they responded to a call about an unresponsive man in his 30s at Epic Universe in Orlando on Wednesday. Officials from Universal say the man was riding Stardust Racers and have closed the attraction indefinitely.
A day after ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live, protesters blocked 2 lanes of eastbound traffic in support of free speech. The political organization Refuse Fascism arranged the protest in support of Kimmel's First Amendment right where Jimmy Kimmel Live is filmed in Hollywood. The protesters marched when news broke that the late-night show would stop airing after comments about the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
In an event away from politics, something else is drawing the crowds, and it's 3 words: key lime pie. Our DC Bureau reporter Ivana Hilowski shows us why this dessert is getting so much attention.
What do you get when you mix Washington, D.C., Florida, and a whole lot of key limes? A celebration that brings the Sunshine State's favorite pie right here to the nation's capital. Called the unofficial Florida Embassy in the nation's capital, the Florida House opened its doors this week to bring a little taste of home. Key Lime Pie Day, a dessert with roots tracing back to the Florida Keys in the late 1800s.
Well, it's really important to use Florida's embassy as a place to connect, celebrate, and champion Floridians. And events like this really allow us to do all 3. That we're connecting people that are from Florida here in Washington, D.C. We're celebrating the great state of Florida. And of course, we're championing key lime pie, which is how much more Florida can you get?
Guests have plenty to say about the Sunshine State's signature dessert.
So I would say the key lime pie actually tastes a little better down south. But I'm going to go with back home in Florida, the key lime pie tastes better.
Others said the event was about more than just the pie.
It's a great way to kind of leave the world behind, leave, the politics and the heaviness of, everyday work behind. And it's just a break to come together with some nice, good friends and make new friends. And it's a great opportunity.
Here at the Florida House in Washington, D.C., what's just a preview of what's to come. With National Key Lime Pie Day on September 26th, the celebrations will continue one slice at a time.
Dolphins, Bills, a battle for the East.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
It's very gratifying to be able to interact with a coach on this level.
The road to the World Cup runs through FIU, and students met a key figure. Newsbreak will be right back in just 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
South Florida is feeling the World Cup heat, and so is FIU.
South Florida is already feeling the World Cup excitement, and FIU students got to meet one of its main figures from Argentina.
Our reporter Valentina Gaspari brings us more.
It's not every day students have the chance to meet a World Cup champion in person, but here at FIU, that moment turned into an opportunity, meeting head coach of the Argentine national soccer team, Lionel Scaloni.
Micaela Lopez is an FIU student with ties to Argentina. She was feeling nervous when asking head coach of the national soccer team, Lionel Scaloni, one question.
He's super friendly, he's a super good person, so he makes you feel even more at ease when you ask him questions.
This comes after the Argentine Football Association, or AFA, partnered with FIU to offer a fireside chat where students got to speak with a World Cup champion. The conversation sparked topics about Scaloni's journey becoming head coach, his insights on sports leadership, how to face challenges in the game, and the use of AI in sports. Argentine journalist Eduardo Vizcayat, along with journalist and FIU professor Alejandro Alvarado, moderated the conversation, saying how Scaloni is more than just an athlete, but rather a true strategist.
He was a very humble, very focused, down-to-earth guy who doesn't have butterflies flying around his head and who has a clear, specific, defined, and excellent organizational capacity. It's very gratifying to be able to interact with a coach on this level.
AFA says the association strives to look for young soccer players who want to fulfill their football dreams.
The truth is, we feel very good when we come to FIU, and we value any project linked to education.
For Lopez, she says she has no fear in what's ahead for Scaloni and his team.
I think the national team is doing really well, and I hope they continue to give us all the joy they've given us in recent years.
And as the World Cup approaches, all eyes will be on Scaloni's team. But win or lose, the head coach says it's important to push forward. For Caplin News, I'm Valentina Gaspari.
The Dolphins are 0-3 since 2019 as they suffer a loss against the Buffalo Bills. With just over 3 minutes remaining, Dolphins had one last opportunity to catch up with the Bills, who were leading 28-21, but quarterback Tua Tagovailoa threw a costly interception that ultimately claimed the Bills' victory. The final score was Dolphins 21, Buffalo 31. The Dolphins will host the New York Jets on Monday, September 29th.
Well, Miami, sports fans do have some hope, and it is thanks to the Marlins. Last night they took on the Colorado Rockies. The game started off with Colorado leading 2-1. This didn't last too long. Liam Hicks hit a 2-run homer, followed by a solo homer from Otto Lopez, putting the game 4-2. The final score was Marlins 9, Colorado 7, with Miami completing a 3-game sweep. The Marlins will play the Texas Rangers tonight at 8:05 p.m. in Arlington, Texas. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action And from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Brenda Miranda.
And I'm Dylan Bazet. It's Field Trip Friday here at Caplin News, and today's live studio audience is from Miami Learning Experience. Thanks for joining us, and remember, you can get more news anytime at kaplannews.fiu.edu.